Welcome to Monster Tutorials. I'm Eduardo Talbert, your host. Today, guess what day it is? Today is Valentine's Day. Woo! So, we have a very special tutorial today. I had the brilliant idea of asking on Instagram. I asked people to guess what I was going to make for Valentine's Day. So as soon as I said Valentine's Day, every single person guessed it was going to be a heart. There was one person that guessed liver. Hey, liver's good. And we are going to make a heart, but not just any heart. Ready? Give you my real heart. So this is what we're going to be making today, right here. Right, let's get this started. Okay, before we get started, quick check. We're up to $885 that we have raised for my half marathon that I'll be running here in like a couple months for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. All right, let's get on with this tutorial. So my Aunt Carol, she sends us pears every year. Thank you, Carol. They're the best pears ever. They're really fancy, right? And they come packaged in foam. That's how fancy they are. And that's what I'm going to use to start the form for this heart. This foam, they sell it at every craft store or packaging or whatever. So it's just a piece of foam, and I'm going to cut it in 4 pieces, stack them all together so it gets nice and thick, because our heart, that's too thin for a heart. It needs to be folded a few times. So let's cut this up, and I'm going to glue them together. I divided this in 4 sections. Now I'm going to cut those sections out. Right, we got the 4 sections. If we put them together, that should be a pretty decently thick heart. So I'm just going to glue them with just regular school glue. Right, let's set that to dry. Use this box of stickers to hold the weight down. And my foam. Okay, next step while that dries, take a little container, some liquid latex. I'm going to add some red food coloring, and quite a bit. I'm going to do about 20 drops. I need this to be really red, because it has to mask the color of the foam. The foam is kind of green, so with the red, it'll give it like a brownish color. This is to make the epicardium, which is the outer layer of the heart. It's like a thin, smooth layer. All right, so now I'm just going to do, using a smooth surface like this tray, I'm going to use a big square of this liquid latex. We're going to let this dry, and we're going to do about 4 to 5 layers of it. But let dry all the way before you start another layer. I'm also going to take some regular liquid latex and put several lines here about 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. Right, let those dry too. That's nice and dry. And as I said, I'm just going to do about 4 layers of the red and about 4 layers of the clear. Alright, I'm going to let this dry, this layer, and then we have the little block of foam, and it's pretty stuck. It's not totally stuck, but it is. We can work with that. And I am just going to go here on Pinterest and search human heart. Look at that, right? And that's just to get the general shape, so I can start sketching it right here. It's more or less like that. That's not perfect, but that's a good start. I'm going to start carving this out with a sharp knife. First, I'm going to cut the edges, and then we'll do the rounding of the heart from this point of view. All right, I'm just using this kitchen knife, just cutting the foam, and it cuts right through, as you can see. Right, so that's the general shape. Now we gotta round it up this way. So I'm going to start cutting these edges, and for that you can just start with the scissors, rounding it up until this is nice and round. So that's what I'm going to do. See that? So I'm just going to keep rounding it until it kind of looks like a heart. I'll keep checking on my phone those pictures of the heart. Alright, I carved my general heart shape, and that's about as good as it's going to get for me. If you have any better ideas on how to carve this, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, so this is dry and the strips are dry, and I put a few more under here for other bits and pieces. We're going to wrap the heart with the latex. Right, so I'm going to lift this, I'm going to put the heart there, and I'm going to start wrapping the heart with the latex. And just push the foam in with the latex, so it'll give it the shape that you want. This is kind of tricky, but it's not that hard. I'm going to flip it over. And keep pulling around. All right. Right, so we have a general heart shape. You can give it some more shape if you want. And some of these parts where the creases are, we're going to make sure that those look like they are just tissue or veins or something like that. So set your heart aside. We're going to take the strips and make some little rolls out of like a polyfill, or you can use cotton if you want. We're just going to roll them on the liquid latex and make like a burrito. Just lift it and fold it over. Try to keep the thickness consistent. right. Once you get to this point, just roll it as even as you can. Just like that, nice and shiny. Set those aside. But I won't need all of them, but I'm going to go ahead and do these guys. Just pulling it around, tucking it in, and gluing it. And just repeating all along. Once you get to this part, you can start kind of like turning it into a tube. There's another one. I don't think I'm going to need this one. I'm going to save that for later. Alright, let's grab our heart now. I'm going to look at my heart pictures again. Alright, so I'm going to take this really thick part right here. I'm just going to cut a piece. Okay, and then another piece about that long. Right, and we're going to put that from here to here, like that. And we're going to glue it. It's going to hold itself already because of the liquid latex. Just take a little bit of more liquid latex. I'm going to use a Q-tip. Just going to take this and put a few drops there, joining the heart and the aorta. If that's what that is. I don't know which artery or vein that is. Might be the aorta. May not be. Right, I'm going to put another one coming out of here. Right, and to glue these, you just put a little bit of liquid latex and just hold it in place. Maybe hit it with a hair dryer a little bit. Right, and one more I wanted to do is one that sticks out of this curl right here, sticks straight out. So let's do that one with some of this smaller material. Right, I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to use the hair dryer to speed up the drying of the liquid latex. Right, so once those are kind of dry, they don't have to be perfectly dry, I put some clear liquid latex here that we're just going to pull. Let it wrinkle a little bit, and that's going to be the fat that surrounds the heart, and that will hold those veins and arteries in place. Just like that. Okay, gotta do it all around and put some fat coming down the sides. Now these strips I have here, see that strip right there? Those I like to pull and then twist them. Don't let them snap on you, but pull and twist. Then attach it somewhere over here. And just bring it down the heart like it's one of the veins. See the vein going down? Just keep dressing the heart just like that. Use the clear for like fat. we'll blend all this up when we're done. I need some more right here. Nice. And now this hole right here. Just like that. I'm going to do a couple veins going down this way. Probably has another vein coming out like this over here. Another big one coming here probably. Then coming around. Veins going down the heart, all the fat and the arteries on top. Now we just have to blend everything together. I'm just putting some of these sheets right here, and it kind of helps it blend too. I'm going to trim these so they look like veins. Now we're going to fill them up with our red liquid latex. Alright, for the glaze I have a little bit of liquid latex with red, and the rest is just white. We're just going to mix it up and glaze the whole heart. And then if we need to add more color, we can add more color. I want to darken these guys a little bit so that they don't look so white too. And that is just covering the whole heart with it. Try to keep the white part a little translucent, thin, so that the red doesn't overtake the cool white color of your veins. Just paint the whole thing. A thin layer, and that will grab all these veins and attach them onto the latex, and it becomes like one piece. It also takes some of the wrinkles away. I'll just hit it with the hair dryer to dry a little side, because you won't be able to put this down. So to put it down on this side, I'm going to have to let this dry. It doesn't take too long, so that side is kind of dry. Now I gotta paint this side. And here's where you can adjust the color. If you want a more purple heart, you can add more blue. If you want it redder, obviously add some red, more orange, add a little bit of yellow. I want it to look like a deep, deep, dark red brown, so that then you put fake blood on it, it looks like really real. As you can see, the veins start turning from white into like a nasty yellowish color, looking like a real tissue. This guy is almost finished. I put one last glaze, which is mostly liquid latex and red food coloring, and I'm just doing the final touches here. As you can see, I put some of the glaze right here where the veins are. Now the veins got that yellowish red color that looks really creepy, and it's not that bright white that we had before. And that's pretty much it. There is the heart. I'll get some close-up shots in a second. But everything's done. It's nice and dry. You can do lots of things with this thing. I borrowed my son's treasure box, put some rags in there, fake blood, and you got your heart in a box like they did in that Walt Disney movie, right? Where the hunter comes in. It's a deer heart. Find yourself a candle holder, put your heart in there, you have a nice sample, put a label on it, good to go. Goes on your shelf with all your creepy stuff. I even thought that you could take one of these. There's a piece of 2x4 that I found in the garage. I cut it to this length, put a label on it. It says Devil Heart. Drill the hole on the top. Get yourself a dowel or a piece of bamboo like this. You can skewer your heart and you have a standing prop that you can put right there on your shelf or somewhere else. Many things you can do with this. And it's nice and squishy too. Since it's sponge, I guess you could put some blood in it and then make it drip. The veins are sealed. That is the polyfill with liquid latex on it, and it looks like congealed blood or clotted blood, so it looks pretty cool. The blood blended with the yellow of the veins and the arteries, so it looks like it's part of the heart. And we have the little fatty tissue coming down. We have the veins. This guy's good to go. So happy Valentine's Day. If you like this heart, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, because this is the kind of stuff we do here. We don't mess around. And I will see you next time. Don't forget to donate to St. Jude. I put the link below. I'll see you next time.